Processing before you now are the members of House High Rafters, House Singing Stone, House Lion's Tower, and the Woodland Watch. These are the households that His Lordship has been associated with over the years. These generals are here today to help signify Rouland's lineage.
Rouland's first award came in January of 2002 from the Merry Marshes of Lands when he received his Purple Comet. He went on to receive his Silver Buckle in 2003, honored with an award of the Baton in the Middle Kingdom in 2004. He got his Silver Alts in 2006, was created a Companion of the Zool in 2007. In May of 2009, he was awarded arms. At Penzic 37 in 2009, he was the youngest fighter to ever complete 1,000 bouts. He accomplished this in 7 days. In 2009, he also received Ethelmark's Award of Excellence. In March of 2010, he was named Principal Companion of the Silver Stirrup. The next month, he was made a Companion of the Order of the Golden Oaks. In 2013, he was awarded a Keystone. In 2015, he was made a member of the Order of the Gage. In 2016, he received the Golden Escarbuncle. In 2018, he was made a Rouland. In 2021, he was honored with a Cornelian. In 2023, he was made a Companion of the Golden Thorn, and he received a Sigil of Ethelmark. And lastly, he was awarded a Sycamore last year.
The path that brings Rouland in front of you today has been long and arduous, fraught with obstacles and frustrations. The path is sometimes rocky and difficult to traverse. But those who do not succumb to the challenges and persevere may also end up where His Lordship finds himself now. Noble populace, before you soon will stride Rouland of Willowbrook. He has been a member of the populace of this glorious kingdom of Ethelmark, as many of you know, since he was a babe in arms. I would go so far as to say that he was born on the list fields and he was raised in our wars. And your majesties, I present him before you today to answer if he will become a knight.
in the entire Buffalo Bills football team. This morning, we sent you to seek counsel, guidance, and return to us with an answer. We will have your answer now.
Is there a member of the populace who will speak for this man?
Yes, Your Majesty. That honor falls to me. I am Lord Sato Kenshin. In a few moments you will hear others speak of Rouland's virtues. That is obviously what makes Rouland who he is. But I would much rather speak on what Rouland is to everyone else. It is my humble opinion that everyone in the SCA needs someone like Rouland in their circle. If you are trying to strive for something and need a hype man, there is no one going to be more excited to push you to success. No better man to have in your corner. If you need to be humbled, there is no one who will pull you aside faster and tell you you're being a little bit too brazen. If you are trying to work out a concept, be it combat or otherwise, you quickly see the gears start to turn in his mind. He's trying to figure out how to help you with it. And if you are working on something, struggling with something outside of the game and in your life, his advice will be simple and poignant. I'm sure more than one person here has heard to keep chewing on that elephant, one bite at a time. And when it comes time to celebrate, he's the one to hand you a mug and tell you how glorious or outrageous your story is. That's crazy. Your Majesty's noble populace, everyone needs someone like Rouland in their circle, and I am honored to have him in mine. Your Majesties, you are doing a wonderful thing this day, and for that, I thank you.
Is there a master of the laurel who will speak for this man?
Boy, howdy is there. Your Majesties, I am Master Enzo de Pazzi, student of the great Massalia houses of Milan, the doges who bear armor therein. I am told that I should speak of art. Fair enough. I sometimes do what I'm told. But I'm always left asking, what is art? Is this art? It's a silver ring. He made it. He gave it to me with some words. I don't think it is his art. He gave it to me with words. Now I give it back to him with some words. We often ask ourselves, what is art? And we're left with the most unsatisfying answer, that art is something that makes you feel something. Somehow, some way, in 1,000 years of the Norman conquest, English has failed us to describe what art is. It makes you feel something. It's so inadequate. Did that ring make me feel something? It didn't. It really didn't. Because it's not this man's art. When you stare at a harness made in a museum, you may feel carnival. And you may look at that armor and see pageantry, heraldry, the women sitting in the gallery. You may also feel in the depths of your stomach the carnage of it. Men die. Soldiers leave their last bit of blood on the battlefield, and they leave widows at home. It makes you feel something. You are my antithesis. My job is to create the thin veneer that separates fighting men from the almighty. His profession is to tear through it. My craft is to buy a man 10 seconds more of life. His art is to take it. That is his art. It's not that ring. It's not that paltry silver. I am told that I should end such a short speech with the line, "He is my peer." But we've been over this. I don't listen to anybody. You gave me that ring. It wasn't the silver. It's crudely bent and terribly shaped. But your art is to shape the bowing spines of cowards and make them feel 10 feet higher. Make them feel like they can possibly survive that shield charge. Your art is to bend the knees of our enemies and make them feel 6 feet lower. Make them feel like only Alabaster will remember them. You didn't give me a ring. You gave me your time. We're all born to die. We know it. We only got so much time left. You didn't give me a ring. You didn't give me silver. You sure as hell didn't give me artwork. But you gave me your time. And when you gave me your time, I didn't sit down and go, oh, one day he will be my peer. You were my peer. And you will always be my peer. Your Majesties, thank this dude.
Is there a mistress of the Pelican who would speak for this man?
Your Majesties, I am Dame Ursula Rouland, 145th Pelican of your Sylvan lands, and with your leave, I would claim that honor today. Many stories have been shared today of Rouland as a child growing up in the SCA, being born on the battlefield and being a child and all that stuff. I have a uniquely different perspective because I had the privilege of meeting him as an adult when he carried the shield of chivalry after one of the many crowns he fought in for this kingdom. I have the responsibility of attesting to his service today. A knight's service is very special. They carry and protect the dream via the commitment of the virtues that they hold dear. And Rouland does just that with every bone in his body. And he inspires us to do that as well. He once told me that I not only inspire him, but that I challenge him. And when you think about it, that's what he does too. He challenges those he knows to improve upon themselves and those around him. He does this with the gift of curating little microcosms everywhere he goes, full of greatness, challenging himself to complete 1,000 bouts in one Penzance, challenging a practice to become more of a fighter support group who cheers for each other along their individual paths instead of just competing against each other. He challenges in order to look at things through slightly different lens, challenges the children of the kingdom to take up arms in a new program, and challenges his friends to muster the courage to go on when she just couldn't get out of bed. He'll say that this knowledge is chasing wacky bats and fizzy pop. But it's a great service that he does for his community, his kingdom, and the dream. Your Majesties, Rouland has been a peer since before I knew what the society was. Thank you for recognizing him as the knight we've all gotten to know and love over all of these years.
Is there a master of defense willing to speak for this man?
There is, Your Majesties. I am Master Jacob Martinson, and I claim that right. It is with great pride and no small measure of joy that I stand before you today to speak of my friend Rouland. For several years now, we have trained side by side, and in that time, I have come to know him not just as a companion, but as a true exemplar of the virtues we hold dear. His prowess on the field is matched only by the grace of his comportment. His art, a testament to his skill and creativity, inspires all who witness it. Except that guy. And his service, tireless, selfless, and unwavering, has strengthened the very foundations of our family. But it is not merely his deeds that set him apart. From the moment I met him, Rouland has carried himself as a peer among us, not in title, but in spirit. His teaching and training have guided many, including myself, with a wisdom and patience that speaks to his character. He doesn't simply uphold our customs, he breathes life into them, fueled by a passion and dedication that never falters. Our kingdom's traditions, its values, its very soul, these are not just things he cherishes, but things he enhances with every step he takes. Your Majesties, today as he kneels to receive this honor, we recognize what has always been, a knight in heart, in action, and in service. Rouland is my peer.
Is there a lady of the rose who would speak for this man?
Oh, I thought I was speaking of something else, but I'll come on up. I'm Duchess Leodin E. Deirdre Kavanaugh, and it is my greatest privilege to speak on behalf of this remarkable individual. From his very first breaths, Rouland has forged his own path of authenticity, perseverance, and prowess to this very moment. Be he fighting 1,000 bouts, putting up 1,000 Pennsic Road signs, or dedicating 1,000 hours in pursuit of perfection of his chosen craft, he is extraordinary. And this is in part due to his incredible open-mindedness and eagerness to engage everyone about everything, truly valuing people and their perspectives. He listens, learns, shares, and all the while pulls the very best threads from each and every encounter and experience, and he weaves them together into layer upon layer of greatness. Rouland, today, you are being recognized for your shining example and all that you have achieved to date, but with your limitless potential and your incredible moxie, it is undisputed that your future path will hold all the joy, glory, and everything that you so richly deserve. I adore you.
Is there a royal peer who would speak for this man?
Your Majesties, I am Duke Maynard. By your leave. No one told me I had to follow my wife. As many of you know, men, boys, measure themselves at all times. They have a certain way of communicating, whether you're great friends or mortal enemies. Is this guy better than me? Is he a threat? Rouland, the first time I met you, our eyes locked, and you had a scowl on your face. Is he trying to intimidate me? No, he can't even walk yet. A few years later, you had a foam sword and shield in your hand, a strapping lad ready for war. I couldn't remember if your name was Willow or Rolly, not a friend. As the years passed, you traded in that foam sword for a tan. Feisty as ever, ready to take on the world. Still not a threat. Your adventures continued. And then one day you showed up in Woodland Lodge camp, for a lip sync battle. Let me tell you, that's when I knew that you were a threat. We measure ourselves each day by those around us, but that does not define who we are. We are defined by our actions. And those that know you, that truly know that call you a friend, know that your actions make you the great person that you are, a brother at arms, and now a knight. Now that you are going to be part of this great order, your brother and sister knights will always have your back. You'll never be alone. Thank you, Your Majesty.
Having heard the words of these worthies, are you minded to proceed? It's been a long day, everyone. I apologize. Is there a member of the Order of Chivalry who would speak? Thank God you're here.
Folks, I have it on great authority that I am the last worthy for this gentleman. I'm going to stand over here because this is where everybody else stood. I was planning to stand up there. Anyway, I've been in the SCA I'm Vlad. Sorry, Vlad. Thank you. I've been in the SCA a very, very long time. I've been in the SCA for over 30 years.
Wow, good keep.
Yeah. Now, there's something that happens in the SCA that I think all of you are aware of. When you first meet somebody, your image of that person is locked into your brain at that point. If they are a child when you meet them, every time you see them as a child. And as they grow, you still think of them as that child. Anybody want to take a guess on how old this little 8-year-old was when I met him? I was about 10 years into my society experience at that point, and up to that point, I had been a mercenary. Yeah, growl, scout. Okay, fine. I got that. About 10 years in is about the time I first met this little 8-year-old. This little 8-year-old was participating in something that was brand new in the society, which was youth combat. Guess what? This little 8-year-old, with a smile on his face, became Kingdom Champion. More than once, if I read the scrolls right. With a smile on his face, he stood next to his crown and taught me about loyalty and respect and being a royalist. With a smile on his face. When this little 8-year-old was about 16, the society started a new program that let 16-year-olds participate in rattan combat. And this little 8-year-old, with a smile on his face, stepped onto the battlefields of Pennsic for rattan, knowing full well that there were people out there that wanted to prove that 16-year-olds didn't belong on the Pennsic field. It was at this point that this little 8-year-old, with a smile on his face, taught me courage. Long about the time this little 8-year-old was in his early 20s, I would see him driving around Pennsic in a golf cart when other people in their early 20s were making other choices at Pennsic. It was at this point that this little 8-year-old, with a smile on his face, taught me about service. When this little 8-year-old was in his mid-20s, he had some problems. There were some ankles, there were some backs, there were some injuries, there were some things he had to work through. It was at that point that this little 8-year-old, with a smile on his face, taught me about perseverance. Now, last fall, I found out that this little 8-year-old was going to get his writ. And I made absolutely certain I was at that thing. Because I asked him for some passes right before court. It was at that point that this little 8-year-old, with a smile on his face, beat me up one side and down the other. It was at that point that this little 8-year-old with a smile on his face taught me about prowess. Then, this little 8-year-old leaned in. Well, let me say this. It was also at that point that this little 8-year-old with a smile on his face taught me about my humility. But anyway, it was at that point that this little 8-year-old leaned in and said, I love fighting you. Your defense is so great. He had just whipped the living. Anyway, it was at that point that this little 8-year-old with a smile on his face taught me about grace. And then we get to about just over a month ago at Adult Swim, when this little 8-year-old with a smile on his face asked me if I would speak for him at his elevation. Woo! And it was at that point that this little 8-year-old gave me joy. This man has been teaching me his entire life. Any lesson I need to learn about the society, he has taught me in one way, shape, or form or another. Your Majesties, I cannot commend this man to you any higher than to say that I can only hope with a smile on my face that I can be considered his.
Having now heard from all these people, are you minded to?
Now that we understand this man's path through the entire SCA, you should call it in great detail.
Their Majesties require the presence of their most noble order of chivalry. Come up, you see me, I'm down. Is there a cloak for this man's shoulders?
There is, Your Majesty. Excuse me.
Is there a belt to gird this man's waist? Are there spurs for this man to hurt himself on? There are some unspecified numbers of chains, apparently. We'll get the ancestral one first. It just says there will be several, that's all.
It is here, Your Majesty.
Excellent, that's the man.
This chain represents the unbroken line of service of every knight of the kingdom of God. Cygnus the Blissful, Michael Northwood, Dane Ferris, Sextus Plinius Calidus, Guido Martini of Trinopria, Rowan de la Garnison, James Ahern, Matthias Sean Cameron, Orlando Alvarez, Reinhard von Berchtesgaden, Otto of Westphalia, Christopher Rawlins, Malcolm Duncan McEwen, Maynard von Epstein, Erling the Boring, Kadon Shakagan Guron Ekin, Henri d'Artois, Murdoch Bain, Eisenwolf Thorolfsson, Magariki Katsuichi no Cordono, Alonzio the Peacemakers, Tristan Sexwolf, Redwin Mab Fierno, Angus McBain, Wolfstan Huskarl, Caleb Shurigon, Duncan von Holster, Ulrich of the Mist, Magnus Tyndall, Hrothgar Iverson, Thorgrim Skullsplitter, Olaf Thorvardsson, Robin Wallace, Stephen Ulfkelsson, Thomas Byron of Haverford, Gabriel Hawks, Gareth Kincaid, Havoc the Wild, Vladimir Mechnik, Ariello Thornberg, Tiberius Pinaris Varro, Andreas Morgan, Carl McClade, Arnthor Insterki, Kunin Bornhelm, Vladislav Nikolic, Ian Kenevin, Aquila de Ethos, Marek Vikeldrago, Ruslan Igornik Moreland, Madison Marai, Hagar the Blushing, Finn Marlin O'Shannon, Oliver Sutton, Sid Hyo, Arden Scott, Boris of Rouland, Kiernok McCathale, Bowden, Lotharius Quiet Sigmundus, Guillaume Lenoir, Reese of Miles End, Gwydion ap Arden, Zvonimir Zolotchikov, Lothar Hugoman, Angus the Bull, Yarki Rickardson, Brogos the Tiny, Tiberius Hostilis Malleus, myself, Jacob Martinson, and now you, Roland of Willowbrook.
Chink? The sheet says 7. Just 2? Excellent. Moving on. That's it.
Now, here's the other. Child of society, child of this kingdom. Bring my sword, my heart, my mind.
Once came a warrior, fresh from the field, kneeling before his crown he came. When he had risen, he was a knight, and unto his crown his guilt he gave. I was born on the list field, I was raised in the war, and this day you do make me a knight. Though someday my sword may grow rusted and dull, I will live by my oath till I die.
Nights before a sworn field together, so we make 76. With that, I love you once, I love you twice.